everything you need to know about retention and Nofap. We're going to be covering benefits, timeline, what to expect, the way how it actually works, because a lot of these YouTube videos out there on retention or Nofap, they kind of get the benefits and timeline part wrong. I mean, they do get some of the points right, like the benefits, but like as to when they happen, they're a little bit inaccurate. What to expect, the difference between Nofap and semen retention, also the definitions, and I'm going to just try covering everything that I covered in this YouTube channel before in all-in-one video, so make sure you guys have some time to watch it all the way through. But let's go ahead and dive into it. All right, so the first thing I want to start off with is the definitions, and with the definitions you guys are going to understand the differences. So essentially, semen retention is where you're keeping your seed. You can still edge, and edging, it's essentially where you're still beating the meat, talking in code here for YouTube purposes, but you can't release your seed. And retention and Nofap are related because essentially on Nofap you have PMO, which the P stands for spicy content, then you have the M, which stands for the meat beating, and then you have the O, which is releasing your seed. And that's where retention is related and Nofap are related, is because essentially you're not releasing your seed. But Nofap is a little bit better, is because, like, if you watch my YouTube channel, my YouTube videos, I talk about Nofap and essentially the spicy content. There's studies that are actually done out there that it can affect your mind. It can also lead to like ED, and it could cause issues for you, and it just puts your mind into a different state of mind. It kind of rewires it. I'm not going to go into the science too much on it. I just want to touch up on it briefly. And then also, you're not meat beating. So with retention, you can still meat beat, which is called edging, and you just can't hit your climax. And essentially, you're going to try getting onto streaks, and when you get onto these streaks, you're going to start hitting timelines. And the thing with timeline videos out there, if you guys watch a lot of timeline videos, is they get them wrong. They say that, oh, at this week you're going to see these benefits, on week 2 you're going to see these benefits, week 3 you're going to see these benefits, and they'll mention, oh, you're going to start feeling energetic, you're going to start feeling driven, you're going to feel your testosterone going up. And there are some truth to some of these benefits on the timeline, but the way how they say them is you're going to see these benefits exactly on this day, and it doesn't happen exactly like that. And the reason I say that is because essentially whenever you start a streak and then you end up resetting it, you're resetting your mind. You're going to put yourself into a serotonin state of mind. That's where a lot of receptors are being fired up in your brain. That's where you go into this calm state of mind, and this is where a lot of people will go into the brain fog stage. So not always, but majority of the time after you reset a streak, you're going to notice that you become a little bit slow, you're going to become tired, you're going to become sluggish, you're not going to think properly, you're going to make more mistakes, you're going to become clumsy, and this is essentially the brain fog stage. So as to the timeline part, you should see that immediately after. Doesn't mean it's going to exactly happen all the time, because from what I notice is if I get up onto a really high streak, like let's say 30 days, 40 days, and then I reset it, essentially I don't hit the brain fog stage. But for some of you guys, it may be a little bit different. And I want to say this with timeline videos. Everybody is different out there. You'll notice this, somebody else will notice something different. And also the benefits, they're not going to happen exactly on a certain day or a certain week. You may notice it maybe 2 weeks later, or you may not even notice that benefit at all. So I just want to say that first before we go into like the benefits. So after you reset your streak is the brain fog stage. So after that, you're going to start noticing, you start feeling a little bit more energetic, more driven, and this is due to your testosterone. So the reason I say it's due to your testosterone is because essentially there's a study that was done out there. I believe it was just one study. There's other people out there. I did a Reddit story that essentially this one person tested their testosterone, and it was very similar to that study, but essentially after 7 days you should see your testosterone spike up. And if you guys don't know, testosterone actually helps out with a lot of things. It makes you more energetic, more driven, more confident. You can also notice your voice deepen a little bit. But then again, I'm going to just say this so you guys kind of understand. So when we cover the female attraction part, essentially you're going to be aware of these kind of things. So it's like opening up your eyes and you're kind of paying attention to see if it actually happens or not. And that's the thing about all these videos about retention and nofap. When they say like the female attraction, it's making you aware of it, so you're paying attention to it more. There could be some truth to it, but then it's also like, hey, I'm paying attention to it now as well. So it's a combination of both, and it's hard to decide exactly what it is. But going back to the testosterone, so you're gonna start noticing you become driven, energetic, motivated, and this is normally after the 7 days. If you don't notice it within the 7 days, well, maybe it'll take 2 weeks for you to see your testosterone go up, because everybody's hormones and all that, it's differently. Whatever you eat, your sleep cycles, a lot of factors actually come into play, your age as well, because I remember reading a comment, this was probably a year ago, that somebody was like, hey, I did notice that benefit, but it didn't happen when you mentioned it. It happened a little bit later, it happened like a week or 2 later. And I was like, yeah, essentially that's why I say in all my YouTube videos, everybody's body is built differently. So after that, let's say after the testosterone stage, you're going to start noticing the other benefits roll in. So you're going to notice like your confidence, the way you're walking. You're going to notice that more people are just paying attention to you, your eyes are glowing, your voice, it might deepen, it might not. It's one of those things that it could be placebo. It could just be like, oh, okay, you watched this video and now you're like kind of imitating it, or you're just noticing it. So anyways, you're gonna notice like your eyes glowing. People have like, you'll notice this like with the female attraction part. It's normally after, in my opinion, I think after the 2.5 weeks is when you start seeing majority of your benefits. And if I do forget some benefits, I do apologize, just because like I don't really pay attention to the benefits other than feeling energetic, driven, and determined. But essentially you're going to start noticing like your eyes are glowing, and you're going to notice people like staring at you. You're going to catch things that you normally wouldn't be able to pay attention to. And the reason I say this is essentially when I would ever get onto like higher streaks, I would notice like women just checking me out. But then again, of course, at the time I was watching retention benefits and female attraction videos of, oh, okay, well, this is what to expect, this is what you should notice, and you're going to notice people treat you differently and all that. And so I was becoming more and more aware of it. So I am trying to come from a place from logic, and I'm just trying to be truthful as much as I can for you guys. But essentially you're going to notice that more people are paying attention to you. You're going to also just be in tune with the world. You're going to notice like little things that you normally wouldn't ever do. And the other thing that I noticed, this was around, I'm going to say around the two month mark, I really got into a place where I felt really confident, because like I ended up doing YouTube video on female attraction, the story that I never told you guys, and essentially I ended up getting the confidence to cold approach a girl. And this is something that I normally find difficult to do. It's not my type of thing. Like I see in a bunch of videos that you just need to overcome it, just go and do it. But essentially when I was on this high retention streak, I just felt really confident. I was like, you know what, you got to do it. This is an opportunity you cannot miss. This is something that you got to do. And I ended up cold approaching this girl, shooting my shot, and you know what, I missed. It was whatever, and you just keep on going at the end of the day. But you'll notice like women just checking you out more, and you'll actually be more driven to actually go out there and make a difference in your life, just in general, in all areas of it. So you guys are probably wondering why you should practice retention or nofap, and I think the best reason is for essentially the spicy content for nofap. Essentially spicy content, it's not good for you. Like how I said at the beginning of the video, essentially it can cause to like lead to ED. The other thing is with both of them, it can lead to self-discipline. The other thing that I mentioned on one of my other videos was people are always promoting beating the meat and releasing your seed, but they never promote, you know, just staying to yourself, not ignoring your emotions and being in control. And it has to make you wonder, why is it that they push this narrative, something that isn't really researched, and there's not really any like too many studies done on it. And this is what I'm saying, why is it that there's not that many studies on this stuff? Anyways, going back to my point, why you should be doing it, becoming disciplined, the benefits, because like the vast majority of benefits are real, some of you guys that are non-believers or don't think these benefits are real, or you're questioning it, hey, are these benefits real? What do you have to lose? Honestly, give it a try. Give it at least a month. Within a month, you should at least notice some sort of difference in your lifestyle. You're going to notice that you're more energetic, you're more determined, you're more focused, your skin looks a little bit lighter, or not lighter, but better. Your hair looks better. Your overall confidence, personality, your mood, just being in tune. There's so many benefits out there, and you're going to notice it as you go along in this journey. I didn't cover the timeline video or timeline part as best as I want, and the reason I didn't cover it as best as I want, because I don't want to set you guys up for expectations of, oh, okay, on week 1 I'm going to see this, week 2 I'm going to see that, and week 3 I'm going to see these benefits. No, just give it a month and see whatever benefits you notice. If you notice these benefits, be like, okay, well, this is what I noticed. Watch other benefit videos just so you understand, oh, okay, these are all the benefits out there that I'm likely to experience, but it's not going to happen on these certain days. It happens when it happens. It's something that you guys need to realize and apply to the vast majority of parts of your life. Is it happens when it happens. It's something that you cannot force. But like how I said, give it a shot. It's something that you guys have nothing to lose. It's something that's free. It takes a little bit self-effort, some determination, and also some time. You need to let some days pass by. The other thing I will also want to mention is you're going to end up making mistakes. A lot of people, they'll get onto streaks and then they mess up, and they reset their streak and then they mess up, and then they get onto a really large streak and then they mess up, or some people just stick with it. This is something that it's different for everybody across the board. And then I also remember seeing like out there on YouTube, like retention and Nofap will make you successful, which this all kind of ties into like testosterone. This is why I emphasize it on so much, because when you learn about testosterone, I recommend you guys watching a video on what testosterone actually does for you. It makes you so much better in all aspects of your life, and I highly recommend you guys start taking proper action on increasing your testosterone, because like exercising is one of the best ways to release testosterone. Also eating the proper foods, and then doing the right activities, getting rested, practicing retention and Nofap. And there's all other areas that you guys can start improving on it. When you start improving on it, it's going to start overall leading you down to a better person. And when you become a better person, you're going to start notice some changes within time. It's not going to happen instantly. This is something that it's going to take you a while. It's going to be a journey, and I want to make sure you guys are set in the right mindset that it's going to take you guys at least 6 months to a year to become consistent or be happy with where you're at. And don't apply it just to retention or Nofap. Apply this to all aspects of your life, but you need to be working on it consistently. The other thing I want to mention is tracking your streaks. And the reason I say tracking your streaks is because you'll see videos out there, should you track your streaks or not? And honestly, I think streaks is like kind of like setting goals. It makes you want to achieve them. You want to start working towards them. Also, it gives yourself some expectations. Oh, okay, this is what I expect. I need to hit these certain amount of days. And then you could get to the point of, oh, okay, well, it's just whatever. I'll hit so many days and I don't even pay attention to it anymore. And you guys will notice this as you practice retention and Nofap. You'll start learning about it, or learning about anything just in life in general. You're going to learn about a subject till eventually you feel like the knowledge that you learned is good enough, and then you just move on. So I recommend you guys learn as much as you can. Hopefully I shared as much as I could with you guys in a short amount of time. And if I did miss anything, I'll go ahead and try putting something down in the comments. Be like, oh, okay, well, I forgot to mention this or discuss this, or I might do a part 2 video. We'll see about that. But anyways, don't forget to smash that like button, and I'll go ahead and catch you guys in the next one.